Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Morrowind. Where last time, we defeated Dagothar and completed Morrowind's base campaign. And that means today, there's only one thing left for us to do. And that is the Tribunal expansion, which, as the name implies, is probably going to tie into this whole Tribunal business, given, so far, we've only met one of the Tribunal, Vivek. And he did specifically suggest to me, yes, the other two members of the Tribunal, they might not deal with the loss of their divine powers anywhere near as stoically. So, yes, I feel like there could be some major issues to deal with there. But for the time being, we're here on a much more personal business. The Dark Brotherhood, for some reason, decided to attack me. So we've come here to put a stop to it and investigate precisely why they might have done such a thing. When I say here, yes, our current location is a bit on the mysterious side, I'll admit. Because this beautiful location is Mournhold. But as for where Mournhold actually is, the game's a bit unclear about that, because officially, I'm still in Ebonheart, where I teleported from to get to Mournhold. But I'm clearly not in Ebonheart because, as I say, I'm in Mournhold, because, yes, rather confusingly perhaps, despite the fact in the game Skyrim, you can explore all of Skyrim, and in Oblivion, you can explore all of Cyrodiil. Yes, in Morrowind, you can't explore all of Morrowind. Like, this gigantic island we've been exploring, this is Vvardenfell. It's a bit of Morrowind, but it's not all of it. Because though we can't go there and it's not shown on this map, there's more Morrowind over here, over the water, over to the west, the south, and the east as well. That's the mainland in terms of, the continent of Tamriel. Over on this side to the west, Morrowind borders Skyrim, hence why there was all the Nordic business up here in Solstheim. Further south it borders Cyrodiil, hence the town Cheydinhal in Oblivion, where there are many dark elves living. It's because it's, very literally the nearest town to Morrowind. And then further south it borders Blackmarsh, presumably why yes, over in Ebonheart there are embassies for the Argonians and the Nords, but nobody else, because only the provinces that border Morrowind consider it worth having an embassy here on Vvardenfell. And that, as I understand it, is roughly where we are, down south on the mainland of Morrowind that's not on the map. So we're like down here somewhere, on Tamriel's mainland, not a million miles away from Blackmarsh. Which also might explain the rather pleasant weather and rather lovely trees and whatnot. Presumably, yes, it's a bit warmer here than it is in Vvardenfell. Still, let's get back to our immediate business here, which is, the whole reason we're here is the Dark Brotherhood attacks. So, step one, I should speak with the Royal Guard for more information about the Dark Brotherhood. Oh, and this is fun. Some of the guards aren't just, regular guards. They're High Ordinators, who don't wear gold, they wear silver. So okay, the question is, just because, Vivek has decided I'm the Nerevarine and accepts my awesomeness, do the High Ordinators here hold me in equal regard? Like, do they even care about the whole Nerevarine business here in Mournhold? Okay, we're off to a good start. They do. I've been given the blessings of Arm CV, and on top of that, praise the Nerevarine, the devil is dead, the blight is gone. So, okay, bare minimum, everyone here is probably going to like me a fair bit, because I did literally just save the world, and apparently the whole of Morrowind's happy about that, not just Vvardenfell. And here we go, if we want to find the Dark Brotherhood, we need to get into the sewers underneath the Great Bazaar. You'll find that in the eastern section of town. We don't want trouble there, so mind your manners, because yes, as I understand it, things are going to be a bit different here. Here in Tribunal, we're not going to be running around a massive map or anything. Instead, this entire expansion takes place inside the city of Mournhold, which is a very big city. Though, given the mention of sewers underneath the Great Bazaar, there may be a fair bit of going down underground into ruins buried underneath the Mournhold. Okay, let's get ourselves properly orientated here, because by the sounds of it, yes, I'm in the temple courtyard. That must be to the north of the city, because everything else is to the south. So, Royal Palace due south. Southwest is God's Reach, western side of the city. Number of manors owned by wealthy citizens. So, okay, that might be, the nice side of town. And then alternatively, to the southeast of where I am, so presumably east of the city, that's the Great Bazaar. So that's what we're looking for the time being. And then finally, the Plaza Brindisi-Dorum, south of the Royal Palace. So that'll be the south of town, the Royal Palace presumably right in the centre. So, okay, we now know roughly how this place is laid out. 4 major districts, each arranged on one of the compass points. And yes, he's not got too much to say about the Plaza, or the Great Bazaar, though delightfully it feels like the Plaza is just a really, really big public park. So, okay, possibly Mournhold's just a really bloody nice city. Which makes me immediately suspicious something very dubious is going on just under the surface. So, if this is the temple right here, and this is its front door, then presumably, due south, that'll be the palace. So if I mosey in, yeah, this direction instead, make my way towards the eastern district, presumably Great Bazaar. Okay, I think we understand the basics of how this place fits together. And here we go. This will presumably be... Oh, you know what? This place is nice. This is really nice, actually. So, okay, proper, like, you know, trees and flowers and street lamps. So I bet this place looks lovely at night, too. Although I am immediately a bit confused by... Yes. Random door here. Why is there a door that doesn't, like, do anything? Oh! This is a stage! You want to speak to Merrin? He's in charge of our troop here, so... Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. I just walked onto your stage and started poking about. That's really embarrassing. I hope you're not putting on a show right now. Because if so, I just really ruined it. Okay, screw the Dark Brotherhood. You give me a handful of theatre-related tasks to get on with. I will be right on that, my friends. So greetings, Orc. I'm sure you're here to watch our production of The Horror of Castle Zia. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, we won't be putting on the show today. There's drama to worry about instead, so, oh please, tell me all about your theatrical drama. So okay, wouldn't you know that the very day we're supposed to debut our show, our lead actor, Tarvis Belith, comes down with the collywobbles, and we can't find anyone to take over his part. I would do it, but my expertise is desperately needed backstage. So now I've just got to stand up here and try to drive people away from our heavily promoted production. I just wish we could find someone who looks like Tarvis. But in chance do I just look like Tarvis? You know what, Orky? You look a bit like Tarvis. I think this might work, so what you say? Would you like to take on the part of Clavides, Captain of the Imperial Guard, in our production? 100% yes. Here's a copy of the script. As you can see, people are already starting to gather, so we need to get this show started. I'm sure you know The Horror of Castle Zia quite well. Of course you do, so there's no need for rehearsal. Review the script for the next 2 minutes, then talk to me again. Make sure you come back within 2 minutes, as our play requires exact timing to pull off correctly. Okay, you say 2 minutes, but like, presumably we're playing by Morrowind rules, where in my inventory, time is frozen, right? Okay, we may be in trouble here, because, it turns out there's 28 pages, and Clavides appears to be a pretty major part, including, yes, the fact that he's got a very long speech, though, okay, officially, you're supposed to be reading, so I can't just have the speech written in the book. So that's fine at least, but, okay, bloody hell, what have I signed up to here? Also, these stage directions are very unclear, because they refer to a library door and a front door. But there's only one door, the back of the stage. So, which door am I supposed to be knocking on in order to begin the play? Oh, bloody hell, I shouldn't have agreed to this. And okay, I think this is like a murder mystery. Clavides has come to this castle in order to investigate a crime. So an Ashlander ends up dead from a frostbite, presumably hit by ice magic. Clavides investigates the library, notices a missing book, and yes, as after it, specifically Warvim, potentially is a Keener, which I think is like, I don't know, someone high up in House Telvanni. I should know that, I run a House Telvanni. Clavides examines some armour, remembers that the dying person mentioned Torfang's shield, moves the shield out of the way, and thus reveals a secret passage. He finds a giant pile of corpses in the secret room, and Argonian arrives with the missing book. Turns out that yes, Warvim, who was mentioned, has been sending test subjects to the castle. The Argonian that delivered the book was supposed to be the next one. The maid, it turns out, is in fact the lady of the house, who's the one who's been doing all of this destruction nonsense to all the bodies, etc, etc. There's a fight, Clavides loses, sad ending, although I suppose possibly, from the perspective of House Telvanni, a happy ending, because the Imperial agent ends up dead, and the House Telvanni people get to keep doing horrific magical experiments, so okay, possibly the crowd will consider this a good ending. Right, I think I've got the basics down here, not like all the lines or anything, but enough that I can bluff my way through it. So, head through the door when it opens, go to my mark in the centre of the rug, stand still, deliver your lines. You say that, I'm supposed to, examine the library, then examine the shield, then go into the secret room, and emerge again later. And I think I'm supposed to draw my sword before I'm killed, okay? I've been paying attention to this book.
Good evening to you, Sergio.
And okay, all we need to do now is nail our lines, and I'm pretty sure my first line is your master home? Because that's who I'm looking for, okay? I've been paying attention.
No, Sergio, it's only me here. My master, Saduracana Talvani Hordalf Seer, is at his winter estate. Is there something I can do for you?
And okay, can you contact him? I think I'm supposed to just be coming in.
Not at all, Sergio. Please, may I offer you some flint?
And, okay. I don't remember drinking being mentioned in the script, so no, I'm just going to get to the business of who you are.
Anara, Sergio.
And okay. Lovely name. Jess, when did your master leave Scathainard, which is that where we are right now? I'm sorry, I kind of, skimmed the script a bit.
More than a fortnight ago. That's why it's only me in the castle, Sergio. All the other servants and slaves who tend to his lordship travel with him. Is there something wrong?
And yes, I'm looking for, hang on, it was Sulcarifa. That's who I'm looking for.
No, Sergio, I know no one by that name.
I love the over-the-top delivery she's going for. This is brilliant. So, yes, he was saying Castle and Zia, because that's where we are.
Vec? That's strange. I suppose it's possible that my master knew this man, but being an Ashlander and my master being of the House of Telvanni, well, if you'll pardon me for being flippant, Sergio, I don't think they would be friends.
So, okay, the library, that's where I'm supposed to be looking.
Please, Sergio, go wherever you want. We have nothing to hide. We are loyal Imperial subjects.
Oh, this is a joke. I'm supposed to, yes, say, as I hear, are all Telvanni. Delivered straight, because that gets a laugh.
There is no escape.
Oh, hang on, whoa, I feel like, okay, someone was really upset with that line delivery. Who are you? Excuse me, I'm currently performing, theatre. Please get off the stage. We're very sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Who was that? Why did you attack me? Oh, that wasn't just a Bethesda game glitching the cock out and multiple quests running into each other. Apparently, that was supposed to happen. So, right, I was attacked mid-performance. The play obviously can't go on. No, the show must go on. Let's carry on. I'm happy to continue, okay? I read the script. I know where we're going. I find a missing book. I ask after it. We mention the name Warvim. Then we investigate, yes, the suit of armour, though, okay, I'll admit, whoever the prop master is, we need to have a word with them, because there's no, bookshelf for the library. And there's only one door, and I swear the script does say there's supposed to be more than one door. And how on earth were we going to do the secret passage scene? Because, there's no armour with a shield I can look behind. Okay, I am very sorry about this, okay? I was ready to continue this performance. Oh my, I saw what happened, Arya. Hope you can forgive us, but we knew an assassin would attack sooner or later, so, Right, is this why Tarvas decided not to do the show? Because this show's, controversial or something, and you kind of knew something like this was going to happen. So, right. Tarvas had a somewhat indecent tryst with the daughter of a Telvanni diplomat, so, oh dear. Work under the assumption that, yes, the diplomat hired assassins to take out Tarvas, but I look a bit like Tarvas, and I'm doing his job right now, so, well, you could have mentioned this before I went on stage, Marin. And here's interesting. This guy's implying that, yes, the assassin is Morag Tong. Now, I find that very hard to believe for two reasons, which is, one, I run the cooking in Morag Tong, though maybe just on a Vardenfell, possibly here I don't run things. And 2, there was no writ on his body. There should have been, if he was Morag Tong, he should have had the contract on his person to prove that he was allowed to attack me. Oh, and delightfully, the game was keeping track of, yes, whether I did the first bit of the play well. So, because I made no mistakes whatsoever, I'm being paid 2,000 gold. Though apparently my acting skills could do with some improvement. I mean, the same is true for the other actor. Okay, her delivery was a bit stilted on occasion. Oh, though speaking of which, I've just been given a unique artifact as well. I tell you what, that's actually not bad, so I need to cast it unfortunately, but 20 to 30 points of speechcraft combined with my various personality boosting gear, that's not bad at all, you know. But okay, basically in conclusion, yes, I've walked into Tribunal, and 5 minutes after arriving, I took part in a play where I actually needed to learn my lines and was rewarded accordingly if I did a good job. So basically 10 out of 10 expansion of the year, I love this already. Still, do a quick bit of healing just to get my health back here, and yes, as this is the Great Bazaar, presumably there are some good shops around here. I tell you what, this isn't bad at all. We've got a blacksmith or something here. He's not selling anything too remarkable, but he does have 2 grand on him, which is a pretty decent amount, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I've got some glass boots to sell anyway. So I will happily trade that out for, yes, all the money you've got and a handful of hammers. So, step the next, we need to figure out how to get underneath the Grand Bazaar, so presumably, like, yeah, a sewer grate or something, and that would be a good starting point. Oh, and here's fun, by the way. Tribunal's got its own unique set of plants here, one of which is Fortify Speed. That could be pretty interesting, and yeah, the other one, Resist Paralysis, which, you know, depending on what I'm facing here, could be very useful indeed. The fact they've given me, yes, a new plant that grows everywhere that lets me resist paralysis. That makes me a little bit suspicious that, yes, I might just be needing that at some point. Right, far into the plaza, we've got various other stores here. So there was a clothing store, a general trader, then we've got a magic shop, armory, and a bookseller. I'll tell you what, just out of interest while I'm passing by, I do like, you know, a lot of magic these days, so just out of interest. Okay, one of you's a spell seller and also a spell maker. Nothing jumps out at me as particularly important. I think the other one was, yeah, potion vendor. Some very good potions, mind, so okay. May pop back here later, potentially. In fact, you know what, while I'm here, exclusive restore health. Like, you know, 40 points of health for 5 seconds. I mean, fine, I can make a better potions in terms of the fact they last a lot longer. But 40 a second is a good emergency button to be able to hit, so I'm having both of them. So okay, that's all the shops there, and then we have got ourselves, okay, sewers were mentioned. I'm seeing a water here. Hilariously enough, no, there's nothing down there, but there's a hatch right here, so, okay. Old Mournhold. I think someone else mentioned that too. So yes, possibly modern Mournhold is built on the ruins of old Mournhold. It might be ruins all the way down. So, right. Bit of a cave system though. Who's that over there? You know what, John? This is really, really bloody good news. Because now you're underground, meaning there's no sunlight. And that means you could put on your cursed gown. Right, so now we can start spamming magic a lot more easily. So, hello over there. Me and you like chill.
Go away.
Arnia doesn't know you. Arnia's got nothing to say. So, right. It's possible that, yes, the ruins of old Mournhold aren't just, you know, ancient, abandoned, etc., etc. Possibly Mournhold above, like the entire city, is the nice bit of the city. People who are not welcome there end up making their home down here in the sewers. So, have a bit of a poke around here. There's definitely, yeah, a few people floating about. Palace sewers. Right, hang on. So, if I'm facing, yes, westward, okay. it's the same down below as it is up above. So if I go west from where I am, I reach the palace. And if I keep going, I get to, what was it called? Godshood. So, right, there are districts underground just as there are up above, although there's also ghosts. Okay, so the sewers aren't like, you know, entirely 100% safe or anything. There are monsters here. It's not just like an underground slum. It is a kind of dungeony in some ways as well. So, right, take out the local skeletons. Because the problem is, well, actually, I was about to say we don't know where the Dark Brotherhood is, but no, we do. We know they're in the sewers, and someone said, go into the sewers underneath the bazaar. So, it's somewhere round here. If we hit like a load zone to go into a different bit of sewers, we know we're going the wrong way. So, just start here and keep looping around, because we've also got... That looks to me like old Dwemer pipework, potentially. So, okay. This might be sort of Dwemery in some capacity. So, okay. Keep on keeping on. There are, oh dear, there's multiple ways I could in theory go here. I'm going to get lost in a hurry. Stay on, yes, the highest road for now. That goes to Manor District, so that is, yeah, down south, right? Yeah, I think that's down at the south. No, hang on. Manor District was Godshood. So, okay, bloody hell, it's going to take me a while to get my head around, yes, navigating above and below ground. So take the other path. That goes underwater, at least it might do. That leads me to... That's the palace sewers, so okay. We're starting to figure out how this all fits together. There was definitely one more way to, yes, turn off and go into the water. So, yeah, it was back here, then take a right. There was more water, though. There's also a ghost here. Ghosts are not a problem, though. So, okay. Go in this direction. Have a bit of a poke around, see what we can find down over here. Right, that leads me round to, yes, a more well-lit and nice bit of the sewers, though, John, why are you using your flipping blunt weapons? Don't do that, you're not gaining any skill from doing that. Use a flipping, you know, destruction or mysticism or something if you can get away with it. Nice, a great fireball will do the job against little rats here. That'll just get my destruction and moving in the right direction. Against chests, like, you know, mega ultimate skeletons, that might not work quite so well. So, me and you chill, Narissa. Okay, me and Narissa appear to be chill. Beware the Black Dart Gang. They've robbed me of everything I hold dear. They ambushed my lover and me in the temple sewers. So, right, that'll be the sewers right at the north of the city, under the temple. That makes sense. So, Varana held them off while I ran. When I turned to look back, he was down. I just kept running. Now, Varana's ghost comes to me at night, begging me to come to him and rescue him. He says he has a message for me, but I can't go down there. I can't face the Black Dart Gang. So, right. He was a great fighter, but with one dart, he was dead in seconds. So, possibly this is a gang with, like, I don't know, poisonous darts or something. And go on then, I'm going to see if I can help. So I don't know about that. I don't think you'd stand a chance against the Black Dart Gang. They dress like poor beggars, but they throw deadly poison darts. One's enough to kill you. If you see them, run. But if you see Varana's ghost, speak to him. Maybe you can bring me his message. So, all I need to do is come up with 100% poison resistance, and they can't bloody touch me. I mean that, or you just go and find an Argonian, because I'm pretty sure Argonians have just got 100% poison resistance built in, so, okay. Right now, I don't think I can do that. That is, yeah, back over to the Manor District, so, remember we've agreed to do that, but for the time being, yeah, that's not going to work, because I think for the minute, I can't do anything to increase my poison resistance. So, right, maybe go check in at, yes, that magic shop we were in just a minute ago. They might well be selling a basic spell that I can use as a basis to make my own much stronger one. So, back the way we came, we should be passing, yes, Arnia, the Khajiit, right here. So now we go in this direction. This is the only way we've got left to go. Right here, inside, yes, the actual sewers underneath the temple. So, okay, just out of interest, how long is this tunnel? Feels a bit... Oh, hang on. There's... Wait, I can't entirely see, so maybe just like, a little bit of water breathing, John, just for safety. So, breathe underwater. Brilliant. Now maybe like a bit of light, so I can see what's going on precisely. Right, the problem we've got here is... Okay. This would appear to be... Oh, hang on. Well, there's Slowfall. There's a corpse, but nothing significant on you. There's definitely no way to go down here. So, hang on. Where's the Dark Brotherhood? Because I swear I've been everywhere now. John, you cocking idiot. The Black Dart Gang. A group of people who go around tossing incredibly deadly poison darts. Sounds a bit like the Dark Brotherhood, doesn't it, you cocky genius? And obviously, if you were running a group of assassins, you wouldn't want it to be known you were a group of assassins. Disguising yourself as just another gang in the sewer would be a good way to avoid detection. So, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, right, we need to make our way to, she said the Temple District, right? Yes, Temple Sewers. So, okay, this is a good way for me to learn about the sewers a bit here. The door next to her goes to the Manor District. So, as I'm pretty sure, yes, hang about. Yeah, looking at the local map here, which works even if the actual world map doesn't, don't think there are any doors to take me directly to the Temple District. No. No, there were not. So, in which case, yeah, let's go into the Manor District and then try and make our way northwards underground to get to the Temple District, okay? Step by step, we'll make this happen. So, in we go. Weapons out, ready for trouble, because... Never mind, my journal's also been updated, and... Apparently I found the Dark Brotherhood's hideout. You sure I found the Dark Brotherhood's hideout? Because... Right now I'm under the Manor District. I was told to go under the Bazaar District... And then the woman there said go into Temple. This is like the one place I wasn't expecting the Dark Brotherhood's hideout to be, but... Okay, for some reason it just wasn't in the same district we were told to go to. And okay, I'm now seeing trouble, potentially. So, just in case these guys are, a real problem, let's get some proper spells ready to go. Blizzard does really, really good work. Though I don't really want to fire it till I verified. These guys actually want to attack me, so... Oh, they're coming in! Right, so Blizzard for you, and then take you out. Right, that's definitely the Dark Brotherhood. You're a Punisher. Excellent, and I don't trust that glass weapon. Like, in my experience, glass weapons tend to paralyze, and no, poison. I still feel there might be a connection between the Dark Brotherhood and the Black Dart Gang, so... Okay, are you the same, my friend? No, you didn't have anything whatsoever, so, okay. Some poison resistance might be a good idea. And yeah, the Brotherhood gearies are pretty good as far as light gear goes, but I'm not going to wear it, obviously. I mean, it does look badass, I'll give you, but no, I don't think it's, for me, as it turns out. So, right. If need be, like, I get crowded... Just toss a blizzard at the ground and let that do the work. But in terms of a one-on-one, we should be okay. You know what? I see several coming in. If it's just you, that's fine. So, oh, blimey. You were just an apprentice. Okay, so if you guys just want to come in one by one, that's fine. I feel like I'm currently invading the training academy here. These guys don't seem so tough. Now you, I will give. You took like 3 or 4 hits there. So just go in and... Uh-oh. May have just made a mistake here. Which is... Okay, I got cocky. And now I found the one who does have the cocking, paralyzing weapon. So... do I have anything that cures paralysis? Needs like... Okay, I do have some cure paralysis. Excellent. So, no, no, no. Okay, you're tough. You're tough. No, no, no. Down he goes. Now, unfortunately, I don't think my magic resistance lets me be immune to paralysis, because immunity to paralysis is like its own separate thing. So yeah, I think I can be immune to the poison, because poison's a subset of magic. And again, actually, is it? Because poison resistance is a thing too. So I genuinely have no idea, though. adamantium weapons, you say? I mean, fine, those damage numbers aren't great, but adamantium warhammers or whatnot might be fun, or adamantium armor if I can get it. But yeah, mostly, this isn't so bad. And given I can definitely afford to pick it up right now, the old Daedric weapon, grab that just for the money. Though I will say, I like your gigantic underground shell thing. Don't know what this is precisely, and also, yeah, some of the patterning on this rock. Not really seen this before, so, right. This may be old Mournhold stuff. This would officially lead to a manor house north building. Suggesting possibly... Oh, hello there, sorry, we're not done with you guys yet. Yes, I feel like maybe the Dark Brotherhood, you know, owns a big and nice house in the manor district, but it's also expanded into the sewers underneath. So step one, deal with this lower area. That leads into, yeah, east building of that manor house. So, right. Sooner or later, we're fighting our way from down below back up into the manor district, I'd say. See you guys over there. No need to, yes, flipping a blizzard just one of them. Unless you've got a paralyzing weapon, then possibly I should do that thing. So just take you out, please. And I think possibly this... Wait, hang on, there's... Okay, that was a slightly incompetent fight there, but we got there in the end. Keep on keeping on. Deal with, yeah, the folks down below before we go into the manor house proper. Now, where, my friend, do you lead? Bizarre sewers. So, hang on, the bizarre sewers? Did I just completely miss a door to... No! The manor district! I did see this, I just didn't know I was supposed to be going to the manor district, so I didn't go through the door. So, right, back this way. I'm pretty sure we've now taken care of every assassin in this bit of the underground. See that? Step back into this area, and all of a sudden, the angry music's playing again. There may well be one more alive somewhere. Here we go! I found the one who was still alive. I think he was just like an apprentice, because you went down very easily, my friend. Oh yeah, they didn't even give you the good weapons. Right, with them dead, we're now going into the manor house, and... okay. Multiple enemies, meaning you just get taken out. Lovely. In fact, John, just keep using Blizzard. You've got so many flipping mana points right now, you may as well just, you know, use them. So, okay. You say we're in a manor house right now. This looks very much like I'm still in the sewers, but... okay. Take out the little rats. No trouble with you guys. And... that leads to... okay, one door here. Hello there, friend. You're just getting, you know, nuked with a blizzard. Same as everyone else, because why not? So, okay, this is just like an extension of the sewers by the looks of it. And bare minimum, yeah, we're going to make a good money out of all the loot here. And here we go, perfect. So there's two of them right here, so we can take them out. No trouble with a blizzard. So, okay, that's the east building cleared as well. This was just like, you know, a dormitory or something. So, there should just be one building remaining. The one that was up here. Hang about. The north building, the big shell thingy. In we go. A few more assassins coming in too. Bit of a nasty one on this occasion. Yeah, that's poison damage, all right. So, right, just do one little healing sandwich just to counteract that. Lovely. So, okay. How many assassins are we dealing with right now? For the time being, just a note. There's definitely two. Right. Blizzard, you could just all die while I back off. I do love Blizzard. Especially with this robot, because I could just spam it, and it's delightful. So, right. Blizzard for you guys, too. You just fall over as well. Oh, I'm enjoying this hugely. Blizzard's a great spell when blended with this robe. Oh, and hello, Sexy. We've got someone special here, who's doing like special magic and whatnot. Hello, you might be the boss. So just to give you a good whacking, tragically I'm out of magic, no. Okay. Tell my liege, I have failed. Okay, I would have been willing to chat potentially, but instead he just attacked me on sight. Fair enough, really, I have been murdering a lot of your people. So, hello there. You're dead now. By any chance, do you have... Dark Brotherhood contract. Good. So, The bearer of this document, and a special dispensation of the Night Mother, who has entered into a contract of perpetuity with H, is given special dispensation to execute Arya Gross Shurgak, an orca recently residing on the island of Vardenfell. In accordance with all laws and traditions, the aforementioned personage will be executed in the name of H in the most expedient manner possible. All services of the Dark Brotherhood are at the disposal of the bearer of this binding and non-disputable document. So, I mean, I was just kind of assuming the Dark Brotherhood would turn on me because, you know, I've been waging war on them. I work for the Mournhold. In fact, I killed the Night Mother recently. But apparently, yes, there's something more going on here. Someone whose name begins with H. Oh, and I tell you what, we got lucky he was using, the bow, not the sword. Because the sword was another one of those bloody paralyzed for 10-second giblets. So, according to my journal, yes, now the contract's in my possession, I've killed the person who was dealing with it. We should probably return to the guards on the surface and see what they've got to say. Though I'll tell you what, before we move on, given everyone's dead here, just rest until healed. That's going to take literally 2 days. Because, yes, I really need to remember to take off this particular robe before I rest. Because I'm pretty sure you will regain a mana at a certain amount per hour. So if you've got 1,000 mana, it's going to take a huge amount of time to get it back. Whereas if I just took off the robe and thus had less mana, I could rest way faster. Then I could just put the robe back on. So, Morrowind is delightfully weird sometimes, isn't it? Still, there is a courtyard here, so there might be... I figured there might be a bit more. Also, you tried to paralyze me, and it backfired, didn't it? You definitely just paralyzed yourself, you stupid loser. Right, handful more to take care of here, just to fight my way through all of these guys, because I don't want a single Dark Brotherhood surviving, because yes, otherwise they might just come for me later, though. Okay, I like your gigantic doom cave here, this is pretty cool. Still, best as I can tell, no way to get up top in terms of just going on foot. Not a problem for me, mind. Just levitate up a little bit, and I'm pretty sure I've just upset someone. Hello over there. Sorry, this is a very awkward fight, as it turns out, but oh, you were definitely just an apprentice, weren't you? Dear oh flippy dear. Right, so we can get up to the high ground, finish off, the last of these losers, though, okay. Fun patterning blue and red there. I do not think I've seen you before, my friends. Okay, maybe just to remember that. That might be important as a symbol going forward in terms of, old Mournhold, where I suspect we're going to be spending a fair whack of time as we go deeper and deeper underground. Oh, and speaking of adamantium... Right, glad I went this way. There was just an adamantium hat under the water. Now, admittedly for me, a hat is not necessarily something I'm going to want to wear. Because, you know, I've already got a legendary Daedric Omega hat, so that gives me a, quite frankly, stupid amount of attribute points. But even so, that's 200 points of armor, versus only 180 for this thing. Now, that suggests to me, if I could find, you know, some adamantium shoulder pieces, or boots or trousers, I would very happily go over to those. So, right, eyes open for adamantium. That might be the real endgame armor for, yes, any of my pieces that aren't Daedric artifacts. Well, nothing more in either of those 2 rooms as best as I can tell. So, right, back down to the bottom, and then just pop my levitation back on. And yeah, check there's nothing going on elsewhere inside this mega room. Okay, here's curious up on a high ledge here. Expensive shirt, expensive pants, adamantium boots, beautiful. Right, well, we're having them together with... oh my. Well, I'm glad I went exploring. For Shara, on my death. My dearest love, I have failed you. But how? I brought you sacks of comberry, crates of fine clothes, and chests of gold. But still you spurn my affection. I killed the traitor who robbed you, and still you refuse me. I have sat by your house day after day, rain or sun, waiting for a hint of your affection, but to no avail. I grow weary of this life. Since you have not yet arrived here to meet me, I can only assume the worst. I will never feel your soft arms around me, or watch you sleep without having to fear the guards that now patrol your land. So, Oh dear. So, right, you were just a really weird, creepy stalker, and she specifically instructed the guards to keep you away. Okay, got it. Goodbye, my darling. Think of me fondly and often, and without reaching for your knife. So, right, she definitely reached for the knife a few times. Got it. The bare minimum feels like, yes, this guy bought ridiculous, exciting, sexy mega armor, but it didn't impress her, so in the end, he took some of it off and left it right here. And I'm pretty sure I saw down below a second ago, yes, there is a skeleton here. So, a corpse has a potion of water breathing. Doesn't seem to have worked out very well for you, my friend. Yeah, there was a small chest that just had some gold in it. I grabbed that a second ago. But unless I've missed something, hang on. Just get a bit more light down here. I don't think there's any more armor floating around, like, here. I'm not sure why the helmet would be, you know, a separate chest. So, hang on, that is... right, there's the silver. So basically, yes, all the fancy stuff, like the gold and the silver, he just either left it up on that ledge or tossed it into the water when he jumped. But yes, for some reason, the helmet seems to have ended up somewhere else. Possibly it floated off, I don't know. And yeah, even with some light on, I don't see any more armor around here. Still, keep on keeping on, because yes, ideally I need to find some adamantium trousers. That would be a lovely thing to have, actually. So, hang on. Was that where we just were? Yes, I'm pretty sure that's where we just were. So, beyond what we've already taken, that's just, yeah, expensive shirt and expensive pants. So, that's not adamantium, and that's not particularly interesting. Refresh the levitate. Keep on going up. Check every flipping ledge. Nope, tragically not. Nothing here. But that's okay, because these ice boots, yeah, condition 200, armor rating 143. Fascinatingly, the adamantium boots are actually worse than that, which I was not expecting. No, that's because, hang on, you're medium. Okay, you're both medium. Right, possibly yes, the helmet's good next to this helmet, but this helmet isn't really about the armor rating, it's about the attributes. And yeah, the bracer unfortunately is not as good as the ice equivalent either, so yeah, for some reason, the adamantium helm seems to be really, really bloody good. Like, you know, better than basically anything I've seen so far. But yes, like the other piece of adamantium armor, nowhere near as exciting, which is a bit of a shame. Still, I'll take them out of the sewers with me, just in case we could do something with them down the line. And bare minimum, I am extremely confident the Dark Brotherhood is being completely bloody wiped out at this point. Although I also can't help but notice that yes, here in the Manor District, there wasn't actually a way to get up to the surface from this set of sewers, so, okay, possibly the bazaar is the only entrance to the sewers full stop. You have to start there, and then navigate to the other bits of the sewers from that starting point. So, okay, that might be something to keep in mind going forward as well. And if that is the case, yes, do bear in mind, we now know how to get to the palace sewers, if and when we need to do that. Right, back up top and... oh, as I was expecting, yeah, with these streetlights, this city is lovely at night. This is gorgeous. Still, step one, swing by every trader in the marketplace one by one just to flog all those assassin weapons. Especially given a bloody hell, the sellers here have got like 8 grand. Okay, so for once we're not going to be taking a massive loss on everything we sell. Beautiful. And after spending a quick moment just bartering him up with some persuasion... okay. Still not a great deal. This guy's presumably a good trader in terms of figuring out the price of things, but I would happily take 6 grand for one of those weapons. Also, it turns out adamantium gear isn't some sort of super rare legendary mega armor. The armor across the road is just selling it in her store, and it's not even worth that much, so okay, may have slightly misunderstood the rareness level of adamantium. Okay, under the circumstances, I'm just going to, like, leave all this armor right here in the armory. So, okay, if we do need it, remember this is where it got dumped. Thanks to the incredible merchants here, we're already up to 51,000 cocky golds. And while I'm just moseying around town, okay, one more thing that may be of note. A rumour from a random person on the streets. A terribly powerful and evil wizard, something or other of Velas, has taken up residence nearby. They were talking about strange lights and sinister laughter late at night. Be on my toes if I were you, so, okay. Maybe, given it's night right now, just keep your ears open, in case something interesting might be about to happen somewhere, so, okay, I am liking this expansion so far. There's some really cool little mysteries going on. For the time being though, John, stay focused, speak to the guard about the Dark Brotherhood. You believe you've killed their leader? Maybe you should speak with Frederick Slur about this and, okay, I'm gonna get you though, paranoid in a hurry here. But, that person's name begins with an H. And right, I suspect we may have just, yes, stumbled into the tribunal bit of tribunal. Fedris is apparently the chief steward of Almalexia. That's what that gigantic temple's for. Just like Vivek lives in a big pyramid, Almalexia lives inside that gigantic temple. So, right, things are starting to come together here. Especially given we were specifically told by Vivek, yes, Almalexia takes her divinity very seriously, and the loss weighs heavily on her. She tends to brood, and I fear she will do herself and others harm, so, right. This might be the member of the tribunal who, in particular, we should be keeping an eye on. She potentially might not be very happy with me about the whole loss of divine power business. Still, I would say having kicked off a tribunal in style, how about we call it a pot there? But next time, right, we are going straight back to the temple to speak to this Fedris chappie, because, one, he might be how we get to speak to Almalexia, and two, don't entirely trust him. It's possible he was the one who put the hit out on me, and, under the circumstances, yes, if he works for Almalexia, potentially she might be the one who ordered it to stop me taking away her powers. Which I did anyway, so, okay. My life might be about to get very complicated indeed, because, though she's not a god anymore, Almalexia still runs this place, so, okay. As I say, I think things might be about to get very, very complicated indeed next episode, ladies and gentlemen, so hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Morrowind. Thank you very much, and goodbye. So okay, I've been outwitted by a butterfly, and beaten up by a fish.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I didn't steal anything! I'm sorry, I touched the shoes while I was shoe shopping! Okay, I feel like I may have just, walked in on something. What about this person? Can we talk to this person?